Welcome to Loving Me Before I Love You with Tammy Nicole, the podcast dedicated to you loving and putting yourself first. Others have come first in your life for years, and you know it's time for that to change. You're about to be empowered to set healthy boundaries, confidently have hard conversations, unapologetically put yourself first, and live the peaceful life you deserve. Remember, self-love is essential, and loving yourself sets the stage for every other love in your life. So get ready to embrace self-love like never before with your host, Coach Tammy Nicole.
Hey, it's Transformation Tuesday here at Loving Me Before I Love You. I am Coach Tammy Nicole. I help women reclaim their voice, their worth, and their power so that they can stand in clarity, confidence, and courage. But today feels a little different. Not heavy, but intentional. Because this is the season finale. This is the last episode of our 2025 season. And when I think about closing a season, I don't think about wrapping things up with a bow. I think about reflection. I think about honesty. I think about saying what needs to be said before you move forward, pretending you're fine. So today we're going to talk about writing a letter to yourself, not a cute kind, but the real kind. I want to first start by telling you about this episode. My original plan was to do this episode with my daughter. I wanted us to sit down together and have a genuine conversation about speaking life into herself and learning how to love herself intentionally through writing letters. I wanted her to be able to experience pouring into herself early and to give her language that I didn't have at her age. But when it came to time to it was like time for us to record, she got nervous. Now, I knew she was nervous from the beginning because we've had this recording on the calendar for months. But she said, I'm going to do it. But when it came to the final hour, she just couldn't. But because vulnerability feels different when you know somebody else is listening, it's more about her reasoning why. Because she completely understood the assignment. And I have to respect that. I have to give her space and give her the opportunity to simply be her. So instead of forcing her to do it, I decided I'm going to do it a little different. I decided to reflect on myself, and I decided to write a letter also to her. So today, we're going to learn how to write letters to ourselves, our future selves, and then you're going to hear me read a letter that I'm writing to my daughter. Because sometimes the lesson isn't taught by instructions. It is taught by example. But before we get to any letter writing, I think I want to talk about what a letter to yourself actually is. A real letter to yourself does three things. It reflects on your past without shame. It respects your present without denial. And it reaches for your future without fear. This is not about dragging yourself, but we're also not skipping over the truth. When you write this letter, you should think about it like this. What parts of myself am I proud of? What parts of myself am I still working through? Where am I now? Where have I outgrown old versions of me? Where am I still falling short? What habits do I need to stop excusing? What patterns do I need to stop romanticizing? What desires keep knocking on my spirit that I keep ignoring? And here's the one nobody wants to ask. Where have I been my own biggest obstacle? A letter to yourself is not about perfection. It is about ownership. Because you cannot heal what you do not admit. I always say you can't heal what you won't face. You can't heal the things that you won't acknowledge. So if you want to heal, if you want to grow, if you want to evolve, you cannot keep defending your old habits, patterns, and positions. You have to be able to confront them. So, here's the best part about it. You're not going to have to do it alone. We will do it together. I'm going to write one letter for us, a letter that is to the self, woman to woman. And then I'm going to write a letter to my daughter. Not as a mother who has it all figured out, but as a woman who is still becoming. So no interruptions, no breaks, just truth. Here's how your sample letter to yourself may sound. Now, granted, I want you to write your letter yourself with your individualisms, with your specific needs and things of that nature. But here's a sample. Hey, girl, hey, I see you. I see how hard you've tried to be strong. I see how often you showed up for everyone else while quietly putting yourself last. And I need you to know none of that went unnoticed. I honor the woman you had to be to survive. But I also acknowledge that survival taught you habits that don't belong in this next season. You don't have to over-explain anymore. You don't have to earn rest. And you don't have to prove your worth through exhaustion. I forgive you for the times you stayed too long, for the times you ignored your intuition because familiarity felt safer than change, for the times you knew better but didn't do better because you were simply afraid. I respect where you are right now, not because everything is perfect, but because you're aware, and awareness is growth. Going forward, I need you to choose yourself with intention, not when it's convenient, but when it's uncomfortable. Love yourself the way you keep asking others to love you. Protect your peace like it matters, because it actually does. And when you read this later, remember, you never were behind. You were just sitting in a place refusing to move. But now that you're becoming, you are being able to acknowledge your past, your present, and your future. This letter is not about opening up wounds or covering up faults. This letter is about showing you, being able to see yourself in the way no one else sees you, that you walk with your head held high, your shoulders back, and with confidence that you are becoming the woman you always saw yourself to be. In this becoming, I want you to write down every goal, every aspiration, every desire, and then ask yourself, does this align with who I am? Or does this reflect who others want me to be? If anything short of aligning with who you are, erase and rewrite, because that is your goal, to align with you wholeheartedly, unapologetically, to be the best version of yourself. Always remember, you're forever becoming, never arrived. But your becoming is always in alignment. With love, it's you, girl.
Wow, today's episode is a good one. I know you're enjoying it, and we'll get back to it shortly. Just wanted to take a quick break to let you know that Tammy would love for you to share any questions, comments, or topic ideas you have with her. All you have to do is send them to her in an email to podcast@IamTammyNicole.com. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get back into today's show.
Now, I want you to take that letter, write it, Add the things that you want to add. I want you to add the things that matter to you. If you are a people pleaser, I want you to add that you're going to stop doing that. I want you to add that you'll stop shrinking. I want you to add that you'll stop self-sabotaging your life and embrace the things that are designed for you. Being able to fully acknowledge and reflect on your past, respect where you are currently, and reach for what you want is a full movement just for you. If you're unable to do that, if it's a struggle, that's because you are not as self-aware as you thought you were. Self-awareness is the foundation for self-love. In self-awareness, it is understanding not just your wants and your desires, but it's also understanding your shortcomings. It's also understanding the things that are wounded within you, the things that you have yet to acknowledge or address. Remember, you cannot heal what you don't acknowledge. Healing is a part of your becoming. You must heal. But also healing is about being seen. So you cannot hide during the process. You must acknowledge and embrace even when things don't go as planned, because it's a part of your becoming. So as you sit down to write this letter for yourself, I want you to dissect it from a standpoint of reflection, respect, and reach. Write it down in those three sections. And when you do it that way, you will only focus on the past for a moment. Then you will focus on your right now for a moment. And then you will focus on your future for a moment. As you are preparing to go into the year of 2026, you want to write this letter so that when we get to the end of 2026, you understand where you came from, where you were planning to go, and where you were in the moment. Having this is honestly life-changing because so many of us are stuck being our same version every time. Every time we get to this end of the year, we are so stuck on saying what we want for the next year, and all of it is always the same. And then when you get to the end of the year, you still look the same. You must change that moving forward. Growth is a part of life. But if you stay stagnant and you don't have any level of growth, you are simply wasting away. I don't want you to waste away. I want you to grow. I want you to stand with clarity and confidence and courage and live the life you desire. Now, this was not supposed to be a super long episode because it is an episode of reflection. When I think about these past 50 episodes that we have recorded, I am super proud because I did it. But I also see areas where I can improve. I could see areas where I can make things a lot more fun and festive and a lot more get to the point and actually nail things for you, the listener. I want the next season for this podcast to be more interactive with you. I'm going to do more video drops on YouTube. I am changing how we navigate this podcast. I want more questions. Send the questions in to questions@IamTammyNicole.com. These episodes are going to be geared more towards you, but also more towards the becoming of you and how self-love plays a part. Now, to my baby girl, I'm writing you this letter to encourage you to always be you, to stand for what you want, and to walk in your truth. Mommy loves you, always will, but this is for you. To my Puda, I'm writing this to you not as a perfect mother, but as a woman who wants you to know something I learned very late in life. You don't have to shrink to be loved. You don't have to perform to be chosen. And you never owe anyone access to you just because they ask. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when you wonder if you're too much or not enough. Please hear me when I say this. You are already whole. You are enough. Take your time becoming who you are. Don't rush your life trying to meet someone else's expectation. Listen to your voice. Trust your instincts. And if you ever forget who you are, come back to yourself, not to the world. Ask you the questions that matter. I hope you love yourself fiercely. I hope you speak kindly to yourself. And I hope you never abandon yourself for approval. I am so proud of you, not for what you do, but for simply who you are. Keep growing, keep striving, keep being you. Love always, Mom. Thank you guys for listening to my letter to my daughter. I can't wait for her to actually hear it herself. I want you to remember it's time to exercise your truth. We did 2 letters, we did 2 perspectives, but we had one truth. Self-love is generational. What you heal in yourself, you pass down differently. If this episode spoke to you, write the letter. Don't rush it. Don't edit it. Just be honest. And if you're ready to do this work deeper, you already know where to find me. You can go to stan.stores/I am Tammy Nicole. You can go to questions at IamTammyNicole.com and leave all of the questions that you have. But until next time, until next season, remember, choose yourself. You are the blueprint. Signed, self-love. Because you need to love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus. It has been a pleasure. I will see you on the other side. Happy holidays. Remember, love on yourself and others.
That's a wrap on another episode of Loving Me Before I Love You. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a second to show your support by subscribing and leaving a positive rating and review on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Stay connected with Tammy. Make sure you're following her on Instagram and TikTok at Coach Tammy Nicole. If you like to work with Tammy or have any questions you'd like her to answer, please head over to www.IamTammyNicole.com. Until next time, always remember to love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus.